What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be starting a series called How to Play Marvel Rivals, or the complete guide to Marvel Rivals. Today's video is going to be on Vanguard. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I upload again. Enjoy the video. Okay, so the first tank we're going to be talking about is going to be a shield tank. Your main priority is going to be taking space and absorbing damage for your team. So what I mean by that is if this group right here is your enemy's front line, right, and then that's their back line, you want to try to push this guy either off to the right, off to the left, or back towards their back line, basically creating space all for your team that's right behind you. You're also going to be initiating fights by pushing in first with your shield or with your attack, basically making them kind of like disrupted a little bit to where they're wanting to back up towards their healers, so that way your DPS can come in off the side of you or right behind you and then either deal damage, or if they're a dive tank, they can come around and do damage towards their healers. The next tank we're going to talk about is going to be your dive tank. Your dive tank's job is to basically disrupt their backline and basically get in here and try to disrupt their backline. And then once you disrupt, you can jump back to your front line and either help here, or you can peel enemy people off of your healers. And you can also kind of set the pace of play just a little bit, because if you can get these guys to push back here or die, it naturally the enemy team's tanks is going to back up and pull off of the objective a little bit, to where they're not pushing up as much and dying. The next tank we're going to be talking about is the defensive tank, and really Penny's the only one that's good for this right now, other than maybe Groot. So basically your job is to hold down a point, and Penny's great for that because she can put down these little mines that basically go out to the enemy team. So if they step inside of it and they don't destroy it, you know, obviously it's gonna be dealing damage, and I can literally be doing absolutely nothing. Can also put out more webs to extend the area, to basically make it to where all of these little mines travel along to the larger area. Another big thing for her is that she also does ult negation. So someone like Wanda or Star-Lord or anybody who has like a flying ult, she can send out a web trap, and it basically captures inside of that web trap. A little example, it stops them. You can kill them. The next kind of tank that we're going to talk about is going to be an off tank. An off tank can be used in a couple different ways. You can use it for diving and peeling, or you could also use it for disrupting enemy positions, which is what I'm seeing a lot of lately. I don't play him very much because he's not the type of playstyle that I use, but with positioning, you can use it for, you basically just dash through all these people and they'll pop up in the air, and basically just disrupting their position to where they're not all formed together like you should be in an enemy team. You can also use them for dealing a lot of damage to the front line, basically forcing them to back up a little bit. In other words, just creating space for your team, initiating fights, kind of creating pace of play. And you can also peel for your backline as well, because this guy's almost unkillable. And the last one I really want to touch on is your hybrid tanks. So Groot is the only hybrid tank right now. He's got a couple different abilities. You could use him as a shield tank with his big walls, blocking a large amount of damage on lanes. You can also use his small walls and basically block off an entire section to where the enemy team can't hit you. Now, the only downside of that is that you are blocking the damage from your team as well. You can also use him as a disruption tank, or a defensive tank, if you will, by separating, you know, one person away from their team with your walls, so where if I'm punching this guy right here, I'm doing damage to him, but he can't be healed because his healer is blocked by these walls. And his ultimate's also good for disrupting, or not disrupting, but mainly basically breaking up their pace of play. So if they're all grouped together in one spot, you can basically bring them all together, just pop your ult, and then your team can essentially just wipe the whole squad, as long as there's not a defensive ult there. So really the main 4 jobs of a tank is to take space, absorb damage for your team. You want to be the person that's being the main focus of the enemy team, be annoying, basically control the pace of play and initiating fights, and then you also want to peel for your backline. Okay, so in this one, I'm going to show you guys how to do shield tank, because this is mainly what I play. This is probably the most all-around tank that you can do. So basically all I'm doing right now is it just started, and I'm basically holding off and creating space for my team. And if one of these guys make it past, I can basically peel them off of my team. So now I backed up. You can see this guy right here. Peeled him off. See, they get past me, you back up a little bit, peel them off your team, and then move back forward. Important thing to remember is to not overextend. You should kind of stay somewhat close to your team, so that way, if they are getting dove, you can essentially peel off. So as you can see, Jeff swallowed the whole team right now, so I need to be backing up. Because right now I have no healers with me. But we got the pick. Like I said, don't really overextend. You're gonna have DPS in front of you. This guy's gonna try to work around, so we're gonna peel back a little bit, just in case he makes it through. Another thing with shield tanks is you can also block damage coming in to your teammates as well. Great way to do that is either with Strange Shield. You can kind of point up and like a Hella or something like this guy, where I can walk our team back a little bit. And just basically kind of control. Your main job is to kind of control a little bit. Especially with this.